Agents were looking for records of alleged illegal gambling activity. The attorney denies those charges, and Owens has not been arrested. Los Angeles Lakers superstar Magic Johnson today announced he has tested positive for the AIDS virus. Johnson has retired from the team. The owner of an animal auction house in Covington may face state charges over the way she has treated animals. Carol Burton owns the Covington sale barn. At issue is the dumping of one animal on Tuesday and then another this morning. Jackie Nadell has just returned from Covington and joins us in the newsroom with this unusual story. Jackie?
Janet, this unusual story began on Tuesday when Mrs. Burton decided to dump an injured hog. She says her action was humane and kind, but law enforcement officials in Covington may think otherwise.
The Covington sale barn has been in business for 50 years. Only in recent years have fast food eateries sprung up nearby. The stockyard property is next to a pizza parlor, and that's why the sight of these two dead animals, a hog and a cow, has disturbed some customers, like Betty Ammons, who picked up a pizza Tuesday night and noticed the hog. She thought it was dead, but then it moved, and that prompted her to report it to authorities.
We're in a business area now, and the businesses are starting to come in rapidly, and our town's growing. And to me, this needs to be stopped. If nothing else, they need to put a fence up, a privacy fence of some sort, so that we can't see this, the public.
Mark Brown is with the Covington Department of Public Works. He contacted police, who are expected to charge Mrs. Burton.
Cruelty to animals doesn't matter where it is. And that's what the charge is being brought up on. It's a state law about cruelty to animals.
But stockyard owner Carol Burton says she's anything but cruel to animals she buys and sells. Mrs. Burton says the hog was brought outside to see if it would recover from injuries it got when the animal fell in the barn.
He has been fed and watered. He was not in pain.
Mrs. Burton says the hog was shot and killed this morning because it wasn't getting better, and the animal was to be picked up today. Mrs. Burton says even building a fence or keeping the animals inside isn't practical.
We must have them out where the people can put them in the truck from Griffin Industries, so that's where we put them. On our property, and they can hoist them into their truck. They can come into the barn and get them in the pens. The truck won't fit in there.
As for the dead cow, Mrs. Burton says it was found in the stockyard this morning. It was found dead and it was brought outside for pickup. Janet?
All right, Jackie, what happens if Mrs. Burton is charged?
Well, late this afternoon I talked to Covington police. They're now expecting to charge her sometime tomorrow, which means there'll be a court date sometime next week. And she says she'll be happy to tell her side of the story in court. By the way, I also found out late this afternoon both animals were picked up.
All right, thank you, Jackie Nadell. Joe?
Ole Miss officials say they want a federal judge to throw out